What's going on, people? Welcome back to another John Sinclair TV. Back again tonight to something different again. And we're going to do the half-term player rating slightly early, and because I'm going to be quite busy. And I've got two guests tonight. I've got me co-host Paul, and I've got a special talent, Shelley. Hi to you guys.
Evening, gents.
All right, mate. How's it going?
All great, all great. How's things for you? Good?
Yeah, not too bad. Been busy, but all good.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, guys, if you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. If you'd like to become a member, it's just 99p. Let's go on to the first comment before we go on it. Afghan, big game this week. It sure is.
I like the picture, mate. I like the picture.
Like the picture as well. Let's go for it again. Let's have a look one more time.
Mr. Roman Reigns. It's good.
Yes, absolutely. And also to Leslie, hi to Leslie. Also, please like and share to the socials, help this channel grow. Hi to Gary B. Super chats are available, bottom right, or you can join for 99p. Members only draw in a comment as well. And Guy V, hi to you again. Got a couple here. Gary, and Shelley as well. I'm not flying the comments as well, so I want to get 50 views today at least to help me channel out. Yeah, help the small podcasters out as well. And so before we go for the ratings, I'll start with you, Paul. If you just give us a little breakdown of the season so far for Newcastle United, and also have you been happy?
Oh well, yeah. Should we go with the Twitter version or our version?
The season. Because I tell you what, you go for our version, Shelley go for the Twitter version.
Well, our version has been a very positive season. Injury riddled second half of the season so far, but we got off to a really good start with Villa. Had some really tough games with Man City. Liverpool game, all right, probably should have won that, but it is what it is. Nunez just seemed to find two ridiculous finishes. We just paid for that. And then the kickoff of the Brighton game, still will never forget how many people were saying, Eddie Howe out, get him out, he's rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Had the international break, came back and smashed it. Like, we were unbelievable after that break, just win after win after win. PSG game was in there, amazing night at St. James's Park. That will never be forgotten. AC Milan, the draw was in there. The Man United, all these, Man City in the cup. Amazing run we had. And then we just started losing a few players here and there. And then we've kind of struggled with the injuries. We've not been terrible. I don't think there's been any game where we've been like awful, like really awful. But yeah, with the recent game just before this break, it was obvious, that team that started, in that last game, it's nowhere near what our 11 should be. Anyone that knows us knows that, no offense to them, but, people like who were getting on that pitch wouldn't normally have a chance. I mean, I'm so happy we're getting, Isaac looks like he's coming back and Almiron looks like he's going to be okay. Botman looks a bit more positive, which is good. There was a bit of weird, like, maybe Sean might be injured, might not be. It's weird, that one. Trippier, people got worried. Trippier wasn't injured. He had a personal things. It wasn't an injury because people were kicking off at Southgate. It wasn't an injury, so don't get upset about that. But yeah, so I felt we could have probably done a bit better in the Dortmund games, but I still think that again with injury, we've just kind of not. They haven't played, as Eddie Howe said, they haven't played us at our best at Dortmund. So it's one of those things that you learn from. But for me, after the season we've had last year, on top of all of the cups we're in a quarterfinal. We're still, I know that it's not likely, but we could still qualify for Champions League. I think we're 7th. Is that right? Is it 7th now? Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks to Brighton bottling it, which was weird. But yeah, so for me, that's not, just before Christmas, that's not terrible. We could have been, it could have been much worse. So I think it's been a really positive season, especially with injuries and people stepping up, like the Lascelles and all that, who realistically, again, if Botman's fit, Lascelles hasn't started. So yeah, for me, lads done really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Alan. I mean, no,
Alan.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say Alan Shearer then.
Alan Shearer, yeah. I've got more hair than Alan.
Could have been Alan Liddell in the chat as well. We got to Alan in the chat. Sorry, Alan. Sorry. All things considered, injuries. Really pleased with where we are as of now. The Sky V. Leslie says early days. I think for her. See, we won the block on loan transfers. We're going to chat about that at the end, Alan. Going to take it out as well. Paul's got plenty to say. Obviously, the club and the fans have some good news to say with the 2 PL votes being rejected. And big up to Ben Yam. I hope Ben Yam is fantastic. And also importantly, no interference with associated party sponsorships. Indeed, good news for us, Levers. The Newcastle incoming, wait and see. Nothing's been done yet. Sherry, give us a little breakdown on the season so far. And also, you want to take the Twitter side or are you going to take our side?
Well, we'll go through a bit of both, shall we? So, Twitter.
Yes.
Start the season, we started strongly, which we expected for the run of games that we had. I mean, what was it? 5 out of the first 6 matches were, what was it? I think top 6 to 8 teams last season. So to come away with as many points as we did with that was a bonus. Personally, hand on heart, if we had a drawn against all those 5 teams from the top last season, I would have been happy with that. But we did do some scalp hunting, let's put it that way. So Twitter, sort of went up and was like, yep, brilliant. Odd little battles here and there going, well, maybe this, maybe that. But so far, start of the season was good. Like Paul was saying, we had the Liverpool game where we realistically should have won that. Yeah. And then obviously we came back stronger, had our international break, which does seem to do wonders for it, even though Trips is always away. Callum Wilson went, if I remember rightly. And Callum Wilson somehow, I think, if I remember rightly, came back uninjured. Which, you're just sitting going, Jesus, how's he come back not injured? We've had a good run after that. But like you said earlier, having the cup games and everything else has started to depreciate the squad a little bit, and they're all starting to run a bit tired. And because of games that we've drawn and maybe should have won, or games that we've lost and maybe should have won, i.e. like the Bournemouth game, everybody expected we to win that just before international break. It didn't happen. We did look knackered after Dortmund, and Twitter just sort of went into a meltdown shouting Eddie Howe out, which I couldn't understand. Eddie's been here 2 years. Like, you've got to give people time to bed in. And I mean, people say, 2 years is long enough. It's not. You've got to remember Eddie's strengthening the squad every chance he gets with transfer windows. So he's got to bring in new players and bed them in. And it's a learning curve for him as well as the team. Twitter's had its ups and its downs and its meltdowns. Let's put it that way. Let's get Saturday back in the swing of things and see how Twitter reacts to all that.
Yeah, I kind of agree. And also as well, I mean, it's been a good season for us as well. Injuries as well, it's not helped at all whatsoever. 15 players out. We just plod along, don't we? We just get on with it, Shelley. We just get on with it. And see we get some wins. And it's no good being negative as well. Do you know what I mean? But I've seen people saying Eddie's got to go this because he's took as far as he can. And let's be real, right? I mean, I can't believe that. I really can't believe that. Our fan base are some of our fan base are just so warped. Honestly, man, they really are. Some of them people to talk to. I get people from outside Newcastle fans saying that Eddie Howe's not a big enough name for Newcastle United. Yeah, who do you want then? Diego Simeone? He ain't leaving Atletico Madrid. Not yet, anyway. Let's go on for some comments as well. Someone said Carragher wants vote to be 12/8 in future. That's from Jamie. Big up to Stat. Go on, Paul.
I'm just saying, of course he does.
He does, doesn't he?
He's just, anything going in the favour of the clubs they want.
Exactly. See, all these people come out and take a slide dig at us, get in the bin. Hey, John, Paul, Shelley, my favourite tune, Triple Threat, Static! He's a big gooner, by the way, and he is not a Mikel Arteta fan. He is not. I mean, I could chat about Arsenal for an hour with him, and I know what, I probably wouldn't win. Alan said, let's kind of stand a lad, talking about Jamie Carragher. I'm with you, Alan, and yes, sadly, Gary, meaning no joke. Get it? What a plonk he is. I'll keep away from swearing. You hear that, Gary? Good job, Gary, and B laughs as well. Right, let's go for the player-ins, right? You know how it works, guys. We get players marks out of 10. We go through 27 players we've got to go through. And if you don't agree with our ratings, go and cry some more. We'll be back again after the Chelsea match, I'm sure. And also we'll be back after the PSG as well when I get back from France on Wednesday morning. So let's start with you, Shelley, because you're new. The first one to go with, I'm going to go with Nick Pope.
This is a hard one for me, as much as I absolutely adore Nick Pope. He has his good days and he has his bad days. In the start, absolutely phenomenal. The last few games I've been to, obviously with the lads I sit with, Nick Pope at the minute just can't seem to kick a ball straight. And puts it out in the touchline more than enough. I don't know whether that's strategic or whether he needs to seriously practice his kicking. But saves, he makes some outstanding saves. How he still doesn't even make the England team as like a second or third choice, I do not know. But then again, we're going to have a whole different conversation on Gareth Southgate's reference last night. And I didn't even watch the game last night. So, and I've heard how poor it was, and I've not even watched it, and I don't intend to waste 90 minutes of my life.
No.
It's Nick Pope for me at the moment. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give him a 7.
Fair enough. Paul, you go with Nick Pope as well. I mean, Shelley gives him a 7. I'll probably give him a 7 as well, to be fair. But what would you go with?
He's someone that, look, you know, we'll really appreciate what he's done for the club. But again, if we're thinking next summer and we think who is our number one goalkeeper, I don't think next season, I don't think Nick Pope is our number one. I think he's a very capable number 2, you know, to come on and do cup games and stuff. But I just feel that it will be a position we will strengthen. Because Pope is very, you know, shot stopping. He's up there. He really is. He's Tim Krul levels of like how he can stop shots. He's very, very impressive. His distribution has always been pretty questionable, and again, it has been going out into the corner flag or whatever. And he does, and we're all there. He makes us put our hearts in our mouths when he comes out. He rushes out sometimes and makes really silly decisions, or nearly gets himself. He probably could have got a red card that early on in this season. You know, he just got kind of lucky with that decision. Sometimes he rushes out and causes goals because he doesn't pick the ball up. It's one of those with Pope that, you know, on his day he's unbelievable. You just can't get past him. But other days he's flappy. And Brighton, for example, ever remembers how poor he was at Brighton. Even he would probably admit he was poor. So for the whole season, I think you're both being very fair. I think a 7 is probably just about fair for Pope. Yeah,
I'll go with that as well. I'll go with 7 as well. I mean, you talk about goalkeepers as well. I mean, for me personally, we are going to get a new goalie. There's 2 goalkeepers I'll go for: Ivan Provedel for Lazio and Diogo Costa from Porto. I mean, Porto's got Costa's got a 75 million release clause as well. He signed a new 5-year deal. On top of that, 75 million release clause. Porto want a world record for the goalkeeper from this guy. But Provedel for Lazio has been on fire. This keeper is fantastic. I watched his career. Played for Spezia, moved to Lazio. If he's available, I'll be over this guy. He is fantastic. So, 7 out of 10, we go with that. And we'll go 7. Hopefully you'll have Botman and Isak back for the game. That's Alan. John, you wouldn't win if you had an hour debate, and the inclusion will be this. Let's hope how far Arteta. Not a chance. Not a chance. You can keep Mikel, by the way. Quite a person saying Botman can make the bench. Hope that is the case. What's latest on Botman? Anyone know? Gary, I think let's just mention that as well. Did Pope and Southgate have a fallout? I'm curious. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever.
Southgate had a fallout with Newcastle.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't want Nick Pope going anywhere. Heard he hasn't had a reaction on his knee. Everything is crossed. And his trips is training a day. I heard that less as well. And what about the PSG goalkeeper Donnarumma? For me, he's on mega bucks a week, and I just don't think Newcastle are going for him. So let's go on to the right back. Again, I'm going to start with you, Shelley. I mean, he's going to start this young lad. This guy, every time he goes on the pitch, has been fantastic. Magnificent game against United. Livramento, I mean, I'll tell you what, this guy's going to be a real star.
He is. I think Eddie did the right thing getting him in. If you think about it, he's probably got one of the world's, well, I'm going to class Trippier as one of the world's best left backs to sort of guide him. To look up to. I mean, what Trips is 33 now off the top of my head?
33.
So if you think about it, Trips really hasn't got long left. Maybe he's another 2 or 3 years if he's lucky. Given injuries and how his body feels. Getting Livramento in under Trips as well, like is just a blessing. That kid is going to do nothing but flourish. He's got Eddie, he's got Trips, he's got the likes of Dan Bird, he's got the likes of Sean Longstaff, obviously bringing him in and showing him what Newcastle's all about. And like we said on Sunday night, this kid's work rate is just absolutely phenomenal. Is Livramento 20, 21?
20,
I think.
Yeah.
And he was making some of these regulars for other teams just like absolute amateurs, like in with the tackles, giving them a run for their money, shoving them off the ball. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, this kid, if he gets the right work rate, right manager, right people around him, and we can keep him at Newcastle for maybe another 3 or 4 years, that kid is going to be absolutely sensational and he'll probably triple what we paid for him. I reckon by the time Newcastle's done with him, he could be about £150 million player.
I can't agree. Can't agree, Shelley, can't agree.
He doesn't get much running time. The poor lad's had to sit on the bench a bit. So, screw it. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. And that's just based on what he's had so far.
Fair enough. Answered a good point there. Nick Paul's class keeper, but I'm sure he has a curved foot when doing goal kicks. Always wide, not straight. And I've realised that as well.
So true. True.
It is so true. It is so true. Great shot stopper, but his distribution's not the best. I can't lie. Paul, 8 out of 10 from Shelley for Livramento.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think he's just, again, our lovely Twitter fans panicking. Oh, we've overpaid. Mate, we've underpaid. We've underpaid for this chap. We underpaid for Gordon, and we've underpaid for this guy because he's something different, man. That some of his again, he's been man of the match in Man City, Man United. It's just unbelievable. Like some of these performances, how good he is. Unbelievable. Like how this kid is doing. And I tell you what, when Trippier can't play as often, I've got no panic. If he's starting on Saturday, which I know isn't going to happen, but if he did start on Saturday, I would not be bothered.
No.
It wouldn't be a risk. If he was on the team sheet, we wouldn't be like, oh my God, Eddie's lost his brain. Why is Trippier not starting? We'd all be positive about it because it would be like, oh, exciting. He's, Livramento starting.
You probably will get a small minority of fans going, has Eddie lost his mind? He's not starting.
Very true.
Down.
But for me, Tino gets a 9. I think he's been that good. I think he's been to come in for the games he has and to have man and match performances in pretty much nearly every game he's been in. It's hard not to give him a 9.
Yeah. You know what it is, right? If you play the every game and you show us performance like that, he'll get a big fat 10. But I'm not going to give it a big fat 10 yet, but I'm going to give him a 9 at the minute at this stage. I'll go with Paul on that one. So There you go. And let's go on to the same position. Kieran Tripp for me. I think, look, I'm not being funny, right? But last season, fantastic. This season, he had a couple of dodgy games as well. Yeah, I mean, the last game against Bournemouth, he was awful, Shelley. I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, he is still a top class player.
Yeah, definitely. I love Trips and everything he stands for, everything he represents. Like you say, the Bournemouth match, he had a bit of a shocker. He really did. But the way he handled that fan as well, we had this chat on Sunday night. He had every right. As a captain when Lascelles isn't around, he stands up for that team. He stands up for the club, and he stands up for himself. Which is what you want in a leader, and people follow good, strong leaders, and that is what we need in this team. And you can see when the defence aren't exactly pulling their weight, you can hear Trips is screaming at everybody, whistling at everybody, pulling them and going, yeah, what you're playing at, get back, do your job properly. But he's always the first person there to congratulate them at the end of the match, like, well done, great game, fantastic lads. I wouldn't be shocked if he's the first one in that dressing room waiting for them all coming in and going, you know what, lads, that was absolutely phenomenal. Well done today. We worked as a team. We did this, we did that. Honestly, if we could be flies on the wall in that dressing room after some of these matches, it would be an eye-opener, I think. It really would. But I love the kid. His missus is just as lovely. And I do think, yes, he took the pay cut. He made probably one of the best moves of his career. Getting him in probably was Eddie's biggest signing to date. I think if we hadn't gotten Trippier, we wouldn't have the team we've got now, and we wouldn't be in the position that we're in now.
Agree.
Because of his little sort of fluctuation over the last couple of days, Trips, I love you so much, but it's a 9. It's a 9. I want to give him 10, but he just sort of, I don't want to say slacked off because he didn't. He just looked knackered. So for me, it's a 9.
Fair enough. Paul, he's only had one game, right? I don't know if we're going to judge him. Emerald Crafty on one game, and that one game he had was fantastic. I mean, can we still rate him the games he's played, or?
I think you got to be fair and just give him like a 6 or something. Not to be mean, it's just he hasn't played enough. Bless him. Like we know we can do a job, and I'm looking forward to him being in the squad more permanently because. Again, this is when we have everyone fit and healthy, we do have strength and depth. But the problem is it just shows that when that one layer goes, that's when we really struggle. When one layer goes down, as we found, we're relying on, and again, no offense to them, they're good lads. Miley, all that, got loads of time for them. But do you know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be relying on them starting the game. Really, it's just where we were. So it just shows that we need no offense to Wilson and Isaac, but if they're injured a lot, those are the things we need to think of. If Botman's out, again, Lascelles has done a really good job, which is really helpful. But Lascelles is getting older, and how much can he keep up that form realistically? So again, you've got to think of okay, so if our best player's out. We need a player almost similar to come in. So, Kraft is, I don't think he's played enough to give him a genuine rating. But again, if we have someone not fit or whatever, again, he's someone I would not, if he starts in the Carabao Cup, I'd be happy.
Yeah, fair enough. So 6 out of 10 for Kraft then. Let's go on to Lewis Hall. I'll give you this one, Lewis Hall. I mean, when he played against United, he was fantastic. When he played for Dortmund, and Bournemouth, he got hooked, and we got fed away. He got hooked.
Yeah, Lewis Hall, another one, doesn't get enough game time, but when he's on the pitch, his work rate is fantastic. Good kid, he's going to excel once again. Like Livramento, he's got the right people around him. Providing he doesn't go down the route of some ex-players that just decided that, Newcastle became a playground and they don't decide that they're going to mix business and pleasure. Let's put it that way. They're going to be some outstanding lads. Like we say, we haven't seen much of Lewis. Would like to see a bit more. It's a 7. It's a 7.
Fair enough.
Was he an obligation to buy, or was it based off how many games he played?
Obligation to buy.
Was it an obligation? I couldn't remember the exact terms of his loan deal.
Yeah, because he can't play against Chelsea this weekend, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. 28 million quid it'll cost if we get the guys. So, you know what?
That'll be a steal of 28 million.
That'd be a good buy. That'd be a steal. I think we get him. He's going to get better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's only a young lad. It just get. Look at Declan Rice. First game against us. He was. I won't say it's awful, but he made a mistake, and then he just grew and grew and grew year on year. And this guy's brilliant. He really is. But we move on to. I'm going to give you Jamal Lascelles, Paul.
I'll tell you what, this would be a different conversation if we were talking pre-season. But I'll tell you what, this lad, Botman gets injured. We're all nervous, panicked. We're like, oh no, like he's been amazing. And again, people are like, well, Lascelles has got to come in. Okay, how's that gonna go? He's again just amazing. Like I've said it many times that he could have easily thrown his toys out the pram, been pissed off of not starting, not getting the games because he is the captain. He could have, been miserable or what, pushed for a move. I just think he's proved how much of a captain he is. Like just being professional. You never hear anything negative or any like leaks from the press about him being, disgruntled or whatever. Yeah. You only hear positives. Like again, Eddie's always like, even when he wasn't starting, people saying like, how's Jamal? Is Jamal, going to get in the squad? And Eddie's always saying that how professional he is and how well he's doing. And again, when he's coming after this injury, we've all joked, but we're being serious at the same time. Botman's going to have to earn that spot back because the sales has been that good. Some of his games, it's just like, it reminds me of when he was under Rafa, like because we were all, saying how good he was under Rafa. Yeah. I think he's in the best form again. He's been in for a long time. He looks a bit fitter. Again, sometimes he shows his age with pace and stuff, but that's natural. He's not been able to continue forever. But for me, he's been absolutely like one of the revelations of the season. So for me, easy peasy, 9 out of 10. Very close to a 10.
Wow. 9 out of 10 for Lascelles there.
Yeah, 100%. I really believe that. Yeah. Fair
enough. It's your player rating sort of thing. I'll cry some more if I can't agree. So let's go on to Sven Botman. I'll go over that, Shelley. Sven Botman.
Oh, Sven. Love the kid. His work rate is phenomenal. Put it this way, I wouldn't like him walking down a back alley on a night time following me. I think he'd frighten the life out of you. And that's the impression I get on the pitch. I mean, he seems quiet. He knows his job on the pitch. I dread to think what he's like off the pitch. But like I say, he's probably one of them guys that just stands in his position and just growls at people and people just go, sorry, but not tonight. I'm off. I like Sven. When it comes to Sven, I actually have been reading that he's in light training and providing the knee doesn't swell, he might get some minutes on Saturday. That it all depends on the knee swelling, whether he might have to have an operation or not. So I was that sounds positive. So let's pray that we don't get any swelling and he doesn't have to have an operation. But Sven, he's another 9 for me. He's a 9.
Cool. Absolutely. I think he's a fantastic defender. And let's be real about it. I think he's going to get better and better and better. Should wait for your comment, Gary. And then there he is. Let's also be Bill. It's a shame he hasn't scored his usual head on the back post. So I'm set. I love it. Let's go on to Fabian Shah. And before you say anything, Paul, let's go listen to every single word, so you got to keep it happy.
So Fabian Schär's been terrible. He's been awful. What a terrible player. He needs to be binned, honestly. We need to sell him. Yeah. No, honestly, again, like it's another story of like this poor lad couldn't get in the squad under Bruce. I will never ever. I've referenced it so many times, but I will never. That interview is ingrained in my head forever. With him looking miserable after the Wolves game and saying that it was a pile of, you remember the interview, I'm sure. And I just remember thinking, like, this guy looks like he wants to be anywhere else but Newcastle. Like he's just so bored and so miserable of like bad football and bad decisions. Oh, look, and again, this is just Eddie Howe again, like turn this guy's career into he's undroppable. He's literally, if he's fit, he starts. He's unbelievable. I love how he like goes forward. Some of his passing at times is unbelievable for a guy who's a centre back. Some of his passing is midfielder range. Like at times, phenomenal, and he can score a goal. I don't think I'll ever forget, and he'll never forget either the PSG goal. I think that's going to be, one of his best goals of his entire career. He loves the screamer, so that's why we all love Fabian. But he's just so good. The only small criticism, which he's always had, is just he does. Some teams do. He does,
and it better be good. It better be good.
He does. The only small criticism, I guess, is that teams do go for the ball over the top because he is not the fastest. And quite a few teams have tried to exploit that with him and Botman. It's not just a criticism of Schär at all. So it's one of the positions that I've known that we're looking to have again, just to kind of have that backup. But yeah, Fabian's been unbelievable. And for me, this is another easy 8 out of 10.
Cool stuff. Alan said Botman's on Franz Beckenbauer. I wouldn't go as far as that, man. There's only one Beckenbauer, and that guy, one of the greatest defenders of all time, in my book. And shares our Iron Man, great warrior. He is a warrior. He is indeed. And you know what? I think you're right on there. 8 out of 10 for me as well.
Yeah.
And so Paul Dummett, we can't really say much about Paul. He had one game. And Manquillo, we can't say much on because he hadn't played. So we're going to have to go through, I was going to say the midfield now. I'll start with you, Shelley, in the midfield. I'm going to start with Joelinton.
Well, 40 million, man.
He only cost 40. He's resilient. He only cost 40 million. We think he's effing brilliant. It's Joelinton.
That's the one. People probably agree that when we first bought Joelinton for 40 million, that we had probably lost our minds the way Joelinton played when he first came to Newcastle. I know I thought that sometimes, going, hold on, we just paid 40 million for this. Like, who sanctioned this? But he's proved we're all wrong. I think getting his pal in, Bruno, was a deciding factor on him stepping up his work rate and that. But he's gone from being poor to getting Bruno in, Eddie coming in as well, and his work rate's just gone from 0 to 100. Like, Joelinton now is worth his 40 million and more. He's now proved that we paid every penny we could for that man, and he was another bargain, as far as I'm concerned now. If you had come to me when we first bought him and said 40 million for Joelinton, I would have said absolutely not. No chance. Now, decent business. Really, really decent business. He's not afraid of stuff. He's in there. He does have his odd moments where he does disappear. But when he's on fire, he's on fire. And when him and Bruno are on that top game, there's sort of no stopping them, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I love Joelinton. I follow him and his missus on Insta. His missus is hilarious. Them kids are just absolutely hilarious at his. The kids keep him grounded. He's a total family man. And I think that's what's keeping him level-headed on the pitch as well as everything else. So Joe, for me, is an 8. He's an 8.
8 out of 10. Cool. What about his fellow Brazilian, Bruno Guimaraes? Paul.
Oh.
Well, again, this could be a split for some fans because when he came back, he didn't look at his best for a few games. We were all wondering whether he still carried that injury. Some people were saying his head was turned by Real Madrid and all this rubbish. I feel, I'm not, and this is not a report, this is my assumption. I feel that the contract situation was kind of there, because there was all the rumors and everything, and that was it signed, wasn't it signed? Like there was rumors that it had been signed, but it took weeks and weeks and weeks to get announced. And I feel that, I can't remember what game it was, and he said, I'm effing staying. I can't remember what game that was. Someone will remind me, I'm sure. And I think that was when the contract was officially, signed and sealed and obviously got announced. And since then, I think he's been back to his usual self since then. Here and there, he walks the line. He definitely does between a yellow and a red. The Arsenal game, we all know. But again, if we're being fair, if the original send-off happens, he doesn't do that sort of thing. So, if it would have worked out, it wouldn't have happened. But he does see red. He does see does see red at times. He got his 5-game ban, which hurt us at Bournemouth. It really did. It just showed how much we missed him. And I know he's playing tonight, and I'm just praying that he just, does nothing, has a really nice game, and then gets wrapped in cotton wool. Because if he gets injured, we're knackered again. So I don't want him injured. I want him back. But yeah, I think he's had a steady season. He's definitely had some outstanding games, but I still don't think he's been hit like outstanding himself. Like I think he would demand better as well. So I think I'm gonna get so wrong for this, but I think if we're being fair, to put everything into perspective, like how the season started, am I being harsh? I think 7 out of 10. I might be being harsh.
I'd say the same.
Okay, fair enough.
I'd say the same.
Yeah, I'll go with the same as well. I mean, Tim Vickery, the South American football expert, I had him on a couple of months ago. Right, he's been there over 30 years. This guy knows everything in and out of South American football. I've asked him how many marks out of 10 to give Bruno G, and he said 7.5.
Okay, fair enough. I thought it was being a bit harsh, but maybe not.
No. It's down to you, man. It's your player ratings, right? Don't everyone see it. It's your player ratings. It's your decision. Simple as that. Yeah.
Mind if you had said 6 or less, I would have said just get out now.
Hey.
4 out of 10.
Out.
Hey. Wow. Here in Longstaff, Joe Linton's work rate is always there, but I think Eddie's game and direction in his play. Leslie, you're absolutely right. And talking off, Sean, it's your turn, Shelley. Sean Longstaff, I thought he's having another good season, to be fair.
Sean, he's just become another animal under Eddie. Last season, if I had been talking about this last season, I probably would have said a 5 to 6 out of 10. Only because he just couldn't finish his chances. I think he was too scared to finish his chances. Now, he's got bigger balls than most horses that I've seen. So he's taking his shots. He's terrorising other midfields and defences. I think he's learned to stand on his own 2 feet now and grow as a person. I have heard the ankle situation is swelling, and we're waiting to see if that is going to come down or not. There is rumours of a possible stress fracture. I don't know how true that is, but I'm going with swelling. So fingers crossed we might have him back within 3 to 4 weeks. If he goes to his dad with ice hockey, the swelling might come down a bit quicker if he sits on the rink. You never know. Right. But yeah, Sean, he's playing for his boyhood club. He's in his home county.
Yeah.
He's another guy that's just absolutely loving life right now. Sean, 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I like Sean. I think he's going to get better than Eddie Howe. I mean, just as well he didn't go to Man United all those years ago, 50 million quid was quoted. And now here he is. He's still with us. It's as simple as that. Paul, we got to rate him anyway, and now he's being banned in a minute. Sandro Tonali, great first game. After that, he's just trying to get into the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, his first game was phenomenal, wasn't it? Like, it was just like, wow, we've got something here. And then the usual, because he didn't do the exact same thing in every game. People are like, oh, he can't, he's finished, he's blah, 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 he's rubbish. Honestly, these sort of things just wind up, don't they? He's been really good. I think in Champions League games as well, he was maybe one of our strongest players. I feel for him that it's come this way. Talking of like all these bans and votes and all this, I do wonder a bit like Everton fans. Like, Everton fans are thinking, hang on, what's happened to Man City's charges? What's happened to all these other people who are betting? Where's Tonali, the only person banned still? I think that's mad. I really do think that's mad, that how they fast-tracked his sort of justice. And, some of the other people that I mentioned are still playing football as we speak. So don't know quite sure what that's all about, but there you go. What do I know? But yeah, Tonali, again, it's hard to give him like a high rating because he hasn't played enough. I think a fair 6.5, because I'm just thinking I can't give him much more than that because he hasn't played enough.
Yeah, fair enough. It is what it is, man. And let's go on to another midfield as well. We're going to have to talk to him, Lewis Manley. I know he had a couple of games, but what do you like about him, Shelley?
He's going to be a star in his own right within the next 3 to 5 years. I've seen him play under 21s. I've seen him play first team. What I've seen at Dortmund was positive. What I've seen him play in the Premier League is positive. And he's got Eddie as his head coach. That kid can only get better. Another one hasn't had enough game time to sort of give him a fair rating. But that kid, if him and his brother stick together, stick with the right people, Eddie's going to get the best out of them in the next 3 to 5 years. So I'd say a 7.
Cool stuff. We haven't mentioned him, Paul. Dan Burn. I mean, I forgot about him, by the way. Dan Burn.
You never beat him.
Exactly.
Dan Burn, bless him.
He's some Blythe. He's
another player that divides the fan base in half. He really does. Half the fan base love him, and half the fan base can't stand him. He's someone that, but you can't deny that. He's part of one of our best back fours of our entire history. I'm not even being facetious. Like that season, like I know we're talking last season and this season, but the amount of clean sheets, the amount of things we've done with him in the back four, it's unbelievable. We were on par with Man City last season with the least amount of goals scored against us. So there's no mean feat with him in there. And again, like this season, he's been very it's inconsistent is maybe a harsh word, but he has very good games and he has very games where he's not the best. Every team, and it's not even like, again, a joke, every team aim for him. Like every team we've ever played, if they know he's fit and starting, we all know the tactic. They all put the paces player they know they have, and they stick him on Dan Burn because they know that's where we're at our weakest. But he does a job sometimes. I remember that Arsenal game where I think Saka got past him once, and we were all like, "Oh my life!" He's got him on toast here. Yeah. But he didn't do anything else. He didn't do anything else against him because he picked it up. So I think he just shows again like what grit and determination can do. He's not the best or most skillful player on the planet, but he does a job and he's good at it. And again, like there has been some performances this season where he's been unbelievable. Like he's been very good. So sad for the injury. So it'd be good to have him back. I mean, Eddie Howe again. How high Eddie Howe talks about him again. It just shows that how much he has faith in him. So I think, to be fair to Dan Burn, I think a 7 is probably fair this season. Don't think he's been the best ever, but he certainly hasn't been terrible.
Yeah, fair enough. 7 out of 10 for big Dan Burn. You know, we're going to beat Dan Burn because he's from Blythe. Let's move on. Let's go on to Jacob Murphy, Shelley's favourite player.
Oh. just give him a 10. Give him a 10.
You're going to give him a 10? A 10 out of 10?
just for facial expressions and memes alone. Jacob, absolutely devastated about the shoulder injury. That kid, when he gets the ball, is a force to be reckoned with. I love his work rate. Even in training. I love the comedy side he brings to things.
Yeah.
Like we were saying on Sunday, yep, exactly. The memes. When he starts playing Monopoly and he's bending around and he's like, great and everything. I can see him being the biggest joker in the dressing room, and I think he's probably one of these that keeps the morale way up. I wouldn't be shocked if he's the one that's picking them up off the floor on bad days. But yeah, devastated about the shoulder injury and the fact he's had to have surgery and he's going to be out for a while. But for Jacob, it's going to be an 8.
8 out of 10. That's more like it. 10 out of 10. Woo! I'll let you off. Manley looks solid and skillful, and he's young. Lots more to come from the lad. Class act. Alan, I have to agree with you there, mate. So fit of Murphy training the day. Looks like he's coming back. But I hope he comes back in the right time as well. Let's go on to Joe Willock, Paul.
Yeah, we've missed him. We really have. He's been, again, this is going to be a difficult one to rate fairly because he's been out for quite a lot of the season, really. But again, as soon as he came back, it just showed what we miss about Joe. He still has that one game out of a few where he goes completely missing, which is a shame because that's a thing from last season that happened quite a few times where it'd be like, was even playing. But when he is on it, he's brilliant. So it's a good option to have for definite. But it's a really hard one because he hasn't played a lot. So again, it's hard to give him too high of a rating. Again, I have to just be consistent and give him a 7 because I can't justify giving him higher, and that's not because he's been bad. I just don't think he's played enough.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well for that win against United a couple of weeks ago. That guy, when he scored that, I was at Old Trafford. When he scored that 3rd goal, I was all over him. And you check out my match vlog against Man United. Check it out. I tell you what, watch it again. That will be on there forever. And you know what? Absolutely enjoyed it. What a time! What a time to be alive there. And and there we go. Let's go on to Miggy. Shelley.
I love Miggy. This kid, I don't think I've ever not seen this kid have a smile on his face.
It's not going to win you the title though, Shelley.
It's not. But this kid's work rate is phenomenal. From the second that whistle goes at the start of the match to the second he's either substituted or the whistle goes at the end of the match, that kid probably puts in more miles than what I have done in the last 2 years running up and down the country for work. He's back, he's forward, he's here, he's hassling defenders, he's terrorising the midfield. Excuse me. He's threatening the goalkeeper. He's chasing that ball like it's a homing missile, and he's got to get it and put it in the back of the net. I think the kid's exceptional. I really, really do. He's settled in nicely as well. I follow both him and the missus on Insta. Does spend a lot of time in Paraguay as well when he gets a chance, and I don't blame him. That little of his is going to be an absolute spitting double of him. And if the little turns into him, get him signed now, I swear. Our kids' football skills, and I think the little one's only about 2 or 3. Our kids' football skills now, he definitely gets it from his dad. Miggy for me is a 9. Is a 9.
Fair enough. Your player ratings, but we'll give it a 9. I'm so sure. I'm a big fan of Miggy, but for me, I'm a fan. I'm a massive fan of him, but 9 out of 10. I'll tell you what, Fox is in the chat now. If he does come in, give him the ratings again. He'll love you. Paul, would you give Miggy a 9?
No. I wouldn't give Miggy a 9. No. I love Miggy, but no, I wouldn't give him a 9. But it'd be close. It'd be close to a 9, but not a 9. But he is good. It just, we all know the things that frustrate me, frustrate other fans, I'm sure. Too one-footed, sometimes too predictable. But the effort is, I can't question the effort at all. And it's lovely to see him smile again, because under Bruce, he looked miserable, poor lad.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So that's a 9. I think I'm frozen again. Sorry, guys. Let's do the best we can. Let's go on to Elliot Anderson. I'll go with, is it your turn, Paul? Elliot Anderson.
Oh, another difficult one. You keep giving me difficult ones. I was hoping you're going to give me Anthony Gordon.
That's going to Shelley.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get ahead of that. Anthony Gordon gets a 10 out of 10. But yeah, Elliot, again, he's another one for the future, isn't he? Love when he plays. He's got a real, just that drive about him. He's got a bit of skill. The poor lad just can't buy a goal. He's just the most unlucky player on the planet with goals. Just allowed one last season, and then like this season, what game was it that I can't remember the game. He had like 10 chances, and like they either scuffed or they hit the bar or he just hit another player. And it was just like, no matter what he did, it just wasn't going to go in for him. It just felt sorry for him because he probably could have had a hat trick. I can't remember. Do you remember the game that was, John?
Elliot Anderson.
I remember him chance after chance after chance, and just nothing was going in for him.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's last season. Do
you remember Shelley? I don't remember. I can't remember the game for the life of me.
I can't know that.
To come back to it, like
someone in the chat anyway. They'll know they're intelligent. Next lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again. It's an injury, and again, like we're suffering because again he would have done a job, when he's in there. So he's someone that again I'm excited about the future because it's just nice to be in this position where we've got. I can't believe I'm saying this. We've got a couple of prospects that are actually from Newcastle, and it's brilliant that we actually have prospects from our hometown. And it's lovely, it's really good to see that. And this is the thing that we want football to be like. Yeah, there's money in football and people moan about money. If you can get local talent, it's free. And especially if it's really good talent, you haven't paid any money for it. This is what's amazing. And think of that, Anderson is going to be an amazing player. And one day he's probably going to be worth a lot of money. And we haven't paid a penny for him. We haven't. So, again, like Miley, again, another player that's so much potential there. Alex Murphy, I think he's got a big future with us as well. So we've got a few people up, which is exciting because people keep saying like, oh, this whole vote thing. It's my tagline's about, it's a joke. I think that what the club want, which is what I like about our new owners, they want it to be like natural and progressive. Yeah. And Anderson's part of that, so more power to him. So I think Anderson's probably had, again, feel sorry for the injury, but I think a 7.5 is probably fair just because of the injury.
Paul, if you had to put a price tag on Elliot Anderson right now, what kind of price would you give him?
Knowing what the market's like and what some players have gone for, if we weren't getting 40 million, I'd be gutted. Yeah. Just because that's what market value just seems to be at the moment. Judging by how he could, future, how much talent there is there and how much like he could bring. If Livermento's worth 40, then he is, surely.
Keep talking, guys. Keep talking.
No, you're right, John. You're right, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think, 40 million. would be at least. Like I said, I like Declan Rice as a player. I think he's a decent player. If he's worth 100 odd million, Jesus, I don't honestly.
Yeah.
That to me is mad. I think he's a good player, but Longstaff is better.
Yeah. I mean, when Declan Rice came up as 100 million player, like, I'll probably upset quite a lot of people here, but I only thought he was maybe a 50 to 60 million player. Never 100 million in a million years.
No, never. And I'd hate, and I know I'm going back a lot of seasons now. I remember when we played West Ham and the whole billing was it's Longstaff versus Declan Rice. Who's going to be the starter for England moving forward?
Yeah.
And it's like, why can't we just say that we want both players to do well and both be in the England squad rather than just, who's going to win?
Yeah, honestly, it just seemed like a fight night, didn't it?
And then because Longstaff got injured and Declan Rice scored a stupid header, they were like, and look who won. It was Declan Rice.
Yeah, with a stupid header.
Well, it was our bad defending that day. Jeez. Oh, my God. So he's going to give you, you're lucky, he was going to give you Anthony Gordon, so I might as well give you Anthony Gordon.
Go on then. Steal from Everton. Absolute steal from Everton. I'm probably going to upset people here by saying this, but I thought it was disgusting how he was hounded out of the club. I really do. I mean, there's wanting to get rid of a player and hounding out a player in the lows that you go to get rid of your players. That just took Everton to a whole new low, and it was totally uncalled for. Anthony Gordon's come in. It's took him a few games to find his feet. Now that he's found his footing, was it 35 to 40 million for Anthony Gordon?
45.
Yeah, it's 45 in the end, yeah.
Yeah, like I say, absolute steal on that one. Absolute steal. Again, a work rate like Miggy. When he loses the ball, he's the first one to go and get it back. I like the kid. I really do. Might upset you, yeah, Paul. He's a 9 for me.
Wow.
He's
So
a
you're
9.
talking about Anthony Gordon, yeah?
Yeah.
9 out of 10. Yeah, I'm going to give him a 9 as well. I mean, not quite 10, but I'll give him a 9 out of 10 because what I like about him, his work rate is fantastic, takes on players so direct. And you know what it is, right? I mean, under Eddie Howe, he's a different player. What he needed is love. He just wanted love, yeah?
You see it, don't you? You see, like, they did. I remember, you saw the pit. I don't know if you saw the picture. It was like a couple of weeks ago where they had a picture of him at Everton and a picture of him now at Newcastle. That just showing like the level of fitness as well. Like, he's really bulked up and like, he's putting a bit of muscle and a bit, and again, it just shows like, I think that's another thing that Eddie demands is like, you need to like be strong in this team. And he just looks healthier and happier.
Yeah.
And again, like he's just loving it. For me, he was the only player I was going to give a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, if he scored a couple more goals and takes his chances as well, he'd be a 10. Could have got a couple more goals. The one against Dortmund, I felt he should have scored that. And the one, he should have scored that. That was a huge chance. That would have changed everything if he had scored that. But it is what it is. How do Everton, hugged by the fans here? Totally agree, Alan. Thank you very much indeed. Gordon, fantastic.
I'm just going to step out for 1 minute because I've just had a phone call that might give us a bit of gossip.
Okay.
You might enjoy this bit of gossip. So give me 2 minutes, gents.
Okay, you crack on. Gordon, fantastic. Beginning to the season, great buy and huge scoop for improvement. Exactly. And he's only 22. Record companies must be taking this for authors, this according. I love that. I love that. So let's go on to the strikers. We're going with I'm going to give you Callum Wilson.
Yeah, I love Callum. I think we all love Callum. I mean, again, his strike rate is of Haaland. It's ridiculous. He's done a phenomenal, this lad. Again, like if he were, I'll tell you what, right now, if Callum Wilson was fit his whole career, he'd be up with Harry Kane. I really believe that. He really would be. I swear that I know Southgate. I mean, Southgate likes Wilson, so it's weird, but he would literally, it'd be a fight between who starts for England. If he was fit his whole, his career, I think it would be, do we start Harry Kane or do we start Callum Wilson? Because when he's fit and firing, he's one of the best finishers in the Premier League. Like he's that good. And we do miss his press. I really like how he presses. I know some people moan about how he turns and stuff and make jokes about that he plays with jeans on and all this, all this stupid stuff. But I think we notice when he's not on the pitch at times. When Isaac looks a bit more isolated and Wilson comes on, we can kind of see that difference with the strikers we have. And again, he's just got that attitude of like wanting to do better and always wanting more. Like he got annoyed at himself he didn't get a hat trick in the game. I can't remember which game it was, but he was upset with himself he didn't get a hat trick. And I love that about Wilson, that he's just striving all the time. Like he would have been gutted to be injured again. Like I think it upsets him. So again this season he's been really decent for us. Scored some important goals. Not as many as he would like. I knowing him, because he's just that he has that on himself. And again, that's the only thing. It's just his injury rate. It's very high. If you look at the time he's been with Newcastle, he's been injured like 9 or 10 times.
Yeah,
under us, and it's just kind of. I hate to say it, but I just worry about him next season. I don't know what. I don't think he's going to be even our second choice striker next season. I just don't. I don't see that, which is a shame because he, like I said, if he was fit and firing, like I said, I think he's as good as Harry Kane. I really do. He's so good. So Wilson probably gets a fair 8 out of 10. I think this season probably fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I've got one from Leslie. Gordon's honest with himself and he knew wasn't Eddie fit and changed that. Good on him, exactly. Yeah. But Alan's giving him a 9. Alan's giving him a 9 as well.
Okay,
that's fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I'm going to give you your mate, Shelley, your best mate, Alex Isak.
Oh yes.
But bearing in mind he's been injured, mind. But go on.
I just love teams that are doing the rounds, because I do believe he only lives up the road from me. And I have seen him a couple of times. I've been in the car the times I've seen him, so I've not even been able to approach him. But I just love the picture that somebody keeps putting up with him walking all these dogs out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely love that. Isak, worth his price tag. Massively worth his price tag. When we get him fit and he keeps belting in the goals he's belting in, stick another 20 million on top of that price tag.
Great.
He's been unlucky being injured. But again, his work rate's good. I want to say it's fantastic, but sometimes I get a little bit, and people are going to kill me for this, I get a little bit Maxi vibes out of him. He likes to get back, but when he doesn't want to go back, he doesn't go back.
Yeah. I agree.
So that's the only sort of criticism I've got about him. But when the kid's on form, in fit, and on fire, there's just absolutely no. And some of the goals, man, Jesus! Like, you look at some of them and go, "How did that get in the net?" So he's a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well. Like, I think when he's match fit and he plays 4 games, he'll get goals. I mean, that guy, I've always said 18 months ago, get this guy in. And a couple of days later, he came. Get me a striker. And we got a proper striker. It's as simple as that. Do you think Wilson's injuries finally caught up with him?
Yeah.
I think so now. It's a shame, but I think it's finally caught up with him.
Yeah.
But we still got to keep him in. You've got to back the guy.
How old is Wilson now?
31.
Personally, if it was me,
Wrong side of
him on
30.
now, it would be a rolling yearly contract.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, he's out of contract at the end of next season. Excuse me. Any case, so listen, at the end of the day, I mean, I like Callum, and I hope he stays fit. And if you do get another striker in the summer or in January, then I'd take it all day long. It's simple as that. We need another striker, and I've always said that. 10 plus when we get him fit. That's Alan on Isak. I agree. For me, he'll be third striker next season. That's from Alan.
Yeah,
But
probably.
assist against Everton is a thing of beauty. That's skill.
Yeah.
That's skill.
Yeah.
Raga. Wow. Big skills there from Isak. Everton do know how to caught him that day. Callum and Isak needs to service, in my opinion. Give it to them and they will score.
Very
Yep,
true.
it's
Yeah.
very, 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 very true. So we've gone through nearly all the players, haven't we? Sort of thing. They haven't mentioned Harvey B. Paul. I mean, he hardly played, hasn't he? That's the thing.
That's
so
again, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's another hard one to give a fair assessment of. Again, when he's played, he's been very good. Pre-season, I loved him in pre-season. Like I was at the Cellar Cup, and I was very excited about him because he looked really good. It's such a shame he got injured with the length of injury again. Again, we could have done with him. Again, it's looking positive. He's on the grass now.
Agree.
So we're about a month ahead of where we thought he was going to be. So I'll take that. But again, it's hard to give him anything more than a 7, isn't it? Because it's not because he's been bad. It just hasn't played enough.
That is the thing. It's a shame, really. But when he does come on and play, I mean, I think Harvey Barnes is going to be fantastic. He really will.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have said that, oh, God, no injury and play on a hooks, like, you know what I mean? Having to go up players that only just joined, I think that's wrong. It is wrong. We got to get behind the guy, do you know what I mean? I mean, be honest, if they play poorly, I get it. But comes here, right? The poor lad is going to be out for, 3 months? Hopefully comes back December, January time. And then we could see a different Harvey Barnes. Simple as that. Because I'm a big fan of this kid. 13 goals last season for Leicester in a poor side, which is absolutely fantastic. So we've got him now, and he's going to come good, Shelley. He's going to come good.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, played in a poor Leicester team last season and still banged in 13 goals. What were Leicester thinking? I mean, apart from the price tag probably being a little bit lower than what we'd like, but Leicester's losses become our gain.
Yeah, exactly. Her and Harvey B could be back sooner than you think.
Yeah,
and in Harvey Barnes, our Eddie we trust, he will be our class at Alan. Beautiful words there, beautiful words. So, guys, it's the moment. Yeah, we're going to go on to Eddie Howe. And if you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Do follow Shelley, Uncle Crawford 1, and also Blank Canvas PC on Porsche channel. We're going to do the countdown. Countdown. YouTube will give us a number on Eddie Howe, and he just give it a rating. And then we go 3, 2, 1.
10.
9.
10.
Paul, why are you thinking 9?
Only because of some decisions. And we all know the ones we're talking about. The Liverpool decision, I think, cost us the game, in my opinion, and quite a lot of people's opinions. Some tactical things do frustrate us with time he leaves it. I'm being ultra critical here because I love Eddie and he's much smarter than I am. But I'm just being devil's advocate here that I think he's been really good, really amazing. But I just think there's been a few things, and I think a few people will agree with me where at times it's like, oh, did we need to do that? Did we not need to do that? So that's the only reason I'm saying a 9.
Cool. And what are you saying, a 10? I mean, a 10. Yeah, what are you going 10?
Like I said on Sunday, I watched his podcast with on the High Performance one with Jake Humphries. That was it. That's the name.
Yeah.
Hearing about his background, and obviously when he was sacked, left Bournemouth, taking the 2 years away to sort of go and look at other teams and how they played. So for a manager to take 2 years out and sort of not be paid and go around and look at other teams and managerial styles and, be mentored, shadow other managers, I think has been a bonus, where Eddie's been able to sit down and look at a lot of factors and say, well, I could adapt that. I don't think that style's for me. And he's brought it into training, and we all know he's turned around players that were poor, very poor, under the likes of Steve Bruce. Now, don't forget, Steve Bruce recommended Eddie Howe. Whatever. So, yeah, he's turned some bang average players into some top class players, and double or trebled their money straight away. He's unflappable when it comes to the press. He says it how it is. He doesn't give it the whole, oh, well, my team were robbed of decisions, and I think we should get the FA involved and write a statement. And Arsenal fans crying already.
It's a disgrace.
Yeah. So he's level-headed. He's positive. He takes the negatives and develops on them. Like I say, he doesn't openly criticise referees. He doesn't openly criticise other managers. He'll say when we're poor. He'll say when we're piss poor. He says when we're good. And even if we're good and we've still played poorly, he'll turn around and say, yes, we're good, but we do have to improve in these areas. He's in my top 5 of people, if he could sit down and have a drink with, he would be there as one of them. Just to get into his head and see how he, as a manager, works, and sort of what kind of, I want to say, freedom that he's given from Amanda and Murdad and Jamie and all that. So, yeah, I think for a manager that doesn't whinge, doesn't cry, doesn't criticise other managers and players, he's, I want to say, probably the best manager in the Premier League right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Because, look, I mean, he's a young manager. He's 46 years of age, right? I mean, people say he should manage in England. Excuse me, I hope he doesn't. God forbid. Yeah. I hope he does not manage England, right? Because I tell you what, I mean, he plays, like you said, he's just so calm, so cool. He just level-headed, he doesn't flutter. He doesn't get flustered when he get beat. He's just cool. He says how it is, you're right. And you know what? He's just going to get better and better and better. It's as simple as that. And that's that. All we can say. You've got to love Alan Mack, haven't you? I mean, you're doing player ratings, and then he goes and says, Granger Market 10, Justin Dean 10. This says War Flags.
Yes, mate. Yes, mate.
Yes. Christmas Market, not bad at you.
Nah, the Christmas Market's a 6 at the minute.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Oh, Alan, he loves chatting about our team, doesn't he? It's that voice from the Mr. Ones, Arteta. Evening to AG, hope you're good, mate, as well. So we covered the player wins as well. I mean, do you agree with our ratings as well? Leave in the comment sections down below after the show, still be live as well. And just want to quickly talk about today that we could sign Saudi players. And Shelly, what's your thoughts on that, about signing Saudi players? Do you think that's good for Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, teams have been doing it for as long as I can remember. The phone call that I just took goes along the lines of, and I think everybody's going to sort of, I don't know whether laugh or cry at this one. So apparently the vote that we all had earlier, that people wanted to stop us, well, I'm saying us because it basically was aimed at us. Because of the fact that we are threadbare, the big cartel do not want us signing players from our own clubs in Saudi. Boo, frickety who, because it's happening. And what I've been told, I'm not going to give my source away. It might be on other avenues of social media. But apparently, the list of the 7 teams that stopped this from going through was ourselves. Sheffield United, Man City, Chelsea, Everton, Wolves and Forest. One of them bailed us out of that not going ahead because it was 13-7 and they needed 14 to put the block on. So thank you to Sheffield United, Man City, Chelsea, Everton, Wolves and Forest for letting that happen. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Facts. Poor facts. It's facts. Just
Chelsea,
how
we
it
did
is.
back on Saturday, but we're not letting you win. Simple as that.
Exactly. As long as you beat them in the Carabao Cup as well,
Yeah.
that gets that possibly get us a final semi-final,
Yeah.
a final appearance. Should we win the semi-finals? Unless you get Liverpool again, which you'd probably unlucky. That's what they want. They want us, if you're going to win the competition, we'll do it the hard way.
Yeah.
So, which is good. We need another striker, and Jan desperately. That's for me main area need to sort out. AG, I could have kind of agree. We definitely need a striker 100%. Paul, what's your take on the Saudi? I mean, tried to put a block on, but we actually won't sign Saudi players. I mean, Ruben Neves, one of them.
They can't. They just don't make it any more obvious that it's about us. They fast tracked the vote after they heard that we were even thinking of maybe doing a deal. And as everyone's pointed out, it was fine for Man City to do it, and no one cared. It was fine when Watford were doing it. No one said anything. Nottingham Forest, they've got links with other clubs as well. Man United, again, even though they voted against it, they've got links as well, and they will when there's sort of, let's not take over, whatever the hell they're going through. They'll have links there with Nice and stuff. You're all allowed to do it. I don't care. Like, I really don't. If a club wants to do that, in my opinion, I honestly don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. If Man City want to get someone from one of their clubs that their owners own, it doesn't personally bother me. It doesn't make me upset or annoyed. It's just this weird thing of like, oh no, like, how can we stop them doing that because they're going to get stronger? It's a weird mentality that this elite group of clubs have. I mean, it's funny that Chelsea and Man City are in that list because, again, those two clubs are people who are going to benefit from that not going through, so it makes sense. Nottingham Forest on that list as well. They're another club that are going to, Sheffield. I remember the guy from the Blades podcast said that they had, I can't remember the club he said, but he was saying that their owners have a link with a club where they've like done some stuff like that. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where I was surprised it wasn't even more in the favour of not going for it. I thought the only teams that were going to vote to stop it were people like, the petty ones like Tottenham and Liverpool, those sort of, the ones who are like, but that's what it is. The vote didn't happen. It didn't go through. You didn't get the sponsorship thing either. So we're going to just carry on. We would have carried on if it got voted against. Our owners are clever people, so they'll try something new. We all know what happens. So there'll be another vote or another thing they get mad that we're doing wrong or we've done. I don't know. They'll try and say we can't get a player in January or something like, vote against the January transfer window. It would just be something, wouldn't it? Just anything they can muster up to stop little old new. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? The team causing all this trouble is little old Newcastle that no one cared about a couple of years ago when Ashley was completely ripping us to shreds and selling our rights off to Sports Direct. No one was caring about us then and giving us anything. And now we're in the new ownership. Everyone's so panicked and worried about little old Newcastle with Jamal Lascelles in the club.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Paul Dummett is still in our squad, and they're worried about us. It's just, It's hilarious. I love the Premier League, and how petty they are. It's brilliant. So thanks for the never changing entertainment, and and I think that we'll see because maybe Chelsea and Man City might get relegated in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah,
with all these charges and what's happened to Everton. I mean, again, did you hear that story that Everton might even get in administration because the other clubs are now suing them because they felt that the points deduction should have been last season.
I agree.
It's all kicked off. It's all kicked off now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And you know what it is, right? I mean, the Premier League had the chance to do it, and they bottled it.
I'll tell you what, if Man City and Chelsea are guilty, can you imagine those two teams being relegated? It'd be ridiculous.
I tell you what, though, it'd be a strong championship. I'm telling you, it'd be a strong championship.
I think they'd go lower, wouldn't they? They'd probably banish them lower than the championship.
Well, Sunderland wouldn't come back up in a hurry. That's fair, sure. I'll just say that out loud.
But yeah, I mean, it's what should happen. I don't know why other clubs get to dictate what we do. I just don't understand it. I don't know why they have any say, because I couldn't care less what Man United would do. Has anyone moaned about their signing players for 80, 90 million who aren't worth that money? I don't care. If they want to waste another 90 million on another player like Anthony, go ahead. I don't care. It doesn't bother me if you want to waste your money on players like that. You know, go for it. It's all good.
I say to them? Go and cry some more. Go and cry some more. We just done Miggy.
What did Man United pay for Onana? Was it something ridiculous like 18 million?
80 million.
The only good thing he's done is stop a penalty.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? I do rate Onana when he was at Inter Milan because I love Serie A. It was brilliant. He was an 8 out of 10 in Serie A.
Right. So what would he be at Man United now if you had to give him a player rating?
2.
Honestly, a 3.
Oh, I would have said 2.
I would have said 2 as well.
Oh,
but 80 million for a goalkeeper, and then trying to justify, like he says, probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Okay,
in the world.
80 million for a keeper that's been absolutely shocking, and to save one penalty when it meant it.
Wow!
Get in the bin.
and don't recycle. Don't recycle, man. I'm going to go through the comments, man. This is Liverpool, Man U, shite bags. Who's laughing now? Come on the tune. Alan is on a roll. Love Alan on a roll. I'm so convinced there's all the Dan Ashworth led him in. And
I read today that basically Dan Ashworth put everything out there in regard to this vote, which has made people just sort of go, well, we can't really justify voting against them, can we? So, I think Dan Ashworth's probably been a good signing as well.
He's honestly, wow.
Wow.
And Darren Eales. Oh, that kid's hilarious.
Absolutely.
Those are 2 10 out of 10 signings.
Darren Eales at the Carabao Cup. I got tickets to the Green Man just outside of Wembley before the match. Yeah. And I'd done 24 hours no sleep by this point. I'd been awake from the Saturday morning. We'd been out on the Saturday night. I couldn't sleep. I drove down to London on the Sunday morning, got to the Green Man, got a pint in my hand, standing amongst, I think it was 2,500 fans of the Green Man, just minding my own business. And all he has, do. Can I have everybody's attention, please? Turns around, there's this little bald guy in a suit. And I went my other half and I went, who is this? And I'm like, isn't that Darren Eales? He had a pint of Guinness in his hand and he took the microphone. He was like, thanks everybody for coming. You know, we're answering your questions. We're getting your club back. We're getting what the fans want. And then all of a sudden he just went, we've got Bruno in the middle. That was it.
Class.
It was hilarious.
Class. I'm going to clip that. 1 minute 24:33. I'm going to clip that as well. So do that.
Honestly, it was brilliant. Absolutely. Oh, I've got photos of him. I think I've got some videos as well. I'll have to hunt them out. But he was just one of the fans.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. Oh, Dan Eales, he's a legend. Absolute legend. I spoke to him on BBC Newcastle. What a legend. Did Man U realise, going to wrap this up as well in a bit, did Man U not realise it would mean they couldn't sign to Debo if they went through?
I know.
Man City, Arsenal, Villa, Chelsea, Brighton, West Ham, read it all out as well. And got one guys chatting to Les. Does any of you guys know what players are still out for Saturday? What's a massive list? Hope not now.
Well,
found out from Eddie Howe on Friday, but go on.
We could have Isak back. We could have Botman back, but that I'm going to say that's a 25% Aaron getting Botman back. We've definitely got Bruno back. Trips obviously was a family problem, fully fit, so we've definitely got Trips. Who else was it I've read today? So Isak.
I think Miggy's going to be fine.
Yes, Miggy. Yeah, Miggy was one of them. That was one. I can't remember who the third was. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But rumour has it we're going to get possibly 3 back, maybe more.
Let's hope so, because the PSG is the most important game for us.
Yeah.
The most important game in our history. That's a massive game. And we're going to do a preview for that as well. We'll probably have to be a recorded one because I'll be away to Paris on Sunday. So we'll just see. And let's go for take care, Alan. Everyone's saying bye to everyone as well. Great banter. John, Paul, showing chat and take care. And on that bombshell, we're going to wrap up the show. We've been on for another hour and a half. I mean, like I said, do you agree with our player ratings? Leave in the comment sections down below. Also, are you pleased that we can sign players from Saudi as well? So, Alan, where can we find you on the socials, man? It's only on Twitter, yeah?
Who?
Is he calling you Alan again?
Paul, sorry. Alan Little, not you, mate. Sorry.
You can find me at paul@allen.com. That's where you can find me.
paul@allen.com. We need to change that down the bottom next time.
Yeah, that'll be in my next tagline will be Alan.
Yes. Good idea. Good idea. Sorry, guys. I called him Alan again. That's twice now I called him. Not good. We'll start again. Oh, man. We're very blank canvas. PC.
Every time you say Alan, I'm expecting my other half to be sat behind us. Where did you
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's it. At Blank Canvas PC on Twitter. Lots of the nice people on here already follow me because they're all very nice, lovely people. Exactly, Alan. You're in the chat. Yeah, so if you wish to, you can. That'd be, all the people that follow me on there are all very nice people already. So keep up the support. We need it. Do you know where we are with members, John?
That's a flipping good question.
Have we hit 45 or not?
I don't think we hit it yet. I will see it, but we're going to drum it up as well. What I'm going to do as well, I'm going to put it in the YouTube chat as well, in the members chat as well, and we're going to put them out there. And I think it's about 38, 39 in a minute. So I will keep your eyes on it, though.
Yeah, guys, get those shares, get those, get it out there, because 45 members. That's when you're going to get me getting the T-shirt in the raffle. Hopefully whoever wins it will get the T-shirt from Magpie Store. They promise to do a little, if they can, they'll try and do like a special box as well. So get that word out there, get those members up, because it's going to be worth it.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Thank you. We're going to give you a bye, Alan. No caps in the chat, but we love you. We do love you. Only Joe Linton could do that in capital as well. And Alan and Alan apologise as well. Shelley, where can we find you on socials? I think you've got plenty.
Well, on Instagram, it's Shelley_. One of them days. So yes, Instagram is Shelley_Crawford1. Twitter is Shell_Crawford1 as well. I do have a TikTok account. I just can't remember the username. I think it's Shelley Crawford. I am on there. And guys, I am looking at maybe doing a bit of a female podcast based on Newcastle. In the process of setting up YouTube and things like that.
Thanks, Leslie.
I'm going to consult with both of you if you are up for it about how to get started, because as much as I'm technical, I flutter around quite a lot, and I want to get it right. And I think being with you two here are probably the top two that I need to sort of learn from and get some advice from. So I'm not going to give a precise date. I'm going to hopefully say maybe in the new year that I'll have a female podcast up and running, and you will be seeing these two gentlemen on a regular basis as well, if they'll kindly join us.
Do you know what, Shelley? I'd love to join your channel. If you get it up and running, I'd love to come on yours as well. No problems at all.
We only charge £1,000 per appearance, don't we, John?
We're going to charge a big fat zero. And I tell you what, big fat zero and a tin of roses.
Okay.
that could be arranged.
Yes, baby.
No,
Or
anytime.
as well.
That's what we. This is what we want. We want, we want these communities out there because this is what we want. We want we want these channels to be where people want to feel comfortable to come to, because there's too many. No names being mentioned. Everyone knows already. There's too many where it feels very cliquey or very, if you don't say the right thing, you get told off. Don't want that. We want people to feel welcome. And I think that's a really good thing, Shirley, the way you're having a female-driven podcast, because there's not many voices out there. Kendall's probably one of the biggest female voices out there, but she can't podcast as much as she'd like to. She's on TNT and Sky Sports when she can be, but again, there's a lack of that in the football game. So yeah,
to be perfectly honest, Paul, I don't think that Newcastle have a female podcaster, like you say, apart from Kendall, that would be able to bring something to the fan base.
Yeah, she'd be absolutely fantastic. We can get Kendall on our show, and that'd be absolutely brilliant. And you know what it is, right? It's just brilliant. I mean, Kendall's brilliant, and never met her in person, but I tell you something, right? I mean, she gets a lot of damn stick. People has to go at her. People stabs her in the back sometimes. So you know what? Kendall doesn't care. She does not care. And you know what? She is a great person, and she's always welcome to come on my channel as well, whether it's live or recorded as well. We got one AG as well. That's why I like this channel. Football channel's the best. Thanks very much indeed, AG. Absolutely brilliant. We do get new faces on my channel as well. If you fancy coming on, if you're watching, you want to come on and show your face and give yourself a chance, then you're always welcome to. I shall bring you on as well. And for me, you can find us on all socials: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, like I said, Twitter, X, you name it, it's all there for you. And if you like the video, like what you watch, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be back on Thursday for the match preview and Saturday for the match reaction show. That's at 5 o'clock. I know Shelley's at the match on Saturday. Paul, you'll be here Saturday, will be about 5 o'clock for the reaction show.
Yeah, that's right, mate.
And then we're going to have to arrange for the PSG previews. We'll probably have to have recorded as well at some stage. That'll be good before I get myself to Paris. And you going to Paris, mate?
No.
Not for you?
I'm not going to any games until New Year at the moment. No.
And Shelley can't go to Paris, can you, Shelley?
No, I'll be in Benidorm next week.
Oh, no. If you was at Paris, I would have seen you.
I'll be in the nearest pub that's got the match on, so you'll probably be able to hear the screams from Paris.
Definitely. I might even get a clip off Eastern Benidorm as well. Like, phone to phone, that's why you never know. But you never know. If it works, it works. It don't. But don't worry, guys. I'm already backstage. Guys, like to watch, like and subscribe. And as always, I see you guys on Thursday for the preview show.